Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. I am 5150 and this is Minecraft. Hello and thank you for joining me for another thrill-packed episode of 5150 Plays Minecraft. Okay, so as promised, today we are going to finish up our overview of Applied Energistics. Or Applied Energistics 2, excuse me. So, as I mentioned a couple episodes before, the meteors that strike the ground periodically, here and there, are very important to Applied Energistics 2, and this is why. For Applied Energistics 2, you need to build processors. They're in just about everything in Applied Energistics 2 that you build. And in order to manufacture those processors, you need inscribing plates. And the only place to get those is in these meteors. In the center or thereabouts of these meteors, you'll find a skystone chest, just like this one here. Open that up and you'll find these inscriber plates. This one will inscribe a name on items. I've never actually found a use for it. Okay, so now you know the importance of the meteors. Now, the processors that I was talking about, I'm going to go over a good automated way of making them. As I said before, the recipes of the things that I'm using here can be easily obtained. And this is just intended to be an overview anyway, not a full mod tutorial. Okay, so this is final processor assembly. But before we get to that, let's go upstairs to the other assemblers. Okay, first off, we have a very basic rudimentary inscriber press set with a silicone plate. Now what will happen is any silicone that enters the system, because this export bus is set for silicone, any silicone that enters the system will end up in this press and getting pressed into silicone wafers for processor manufacture. So let's put the silicone in the system. And then we should be able to see here that, yes, in fact, we are getting printed silicone. What is it? Printed silicone. Okay. So, now, in order, or the next step in making these processors, and let me bring up the Applied Energistics. Okay, the next step in these processors is these printed logic circuits. There are 3. Okay, to make the logic circuit, you use gold. To make the engineering circuit, you use diamond. And to make the calculation circuit, you use pure Certus quartz. Now, obtaining pure Certus quartz can be a bit of a pain, but you need it. Now, you'll notice I have some oddly colored cable here. It's not the purple that I've been using. It's this red. The reason I did that is to denote the difference between the different networks. This is a side network, and I've used a piece of quartz fiber to isolate the data between this network and this network. I need to keep those separate in order for this to work properly. So what happens is, as gold is placed into this, let me get some gold. As gold ingots are placed into this chest, either manually or from this interface, this inscriber will continue to use this to make printed logic circuits. Likewise, this one with diamonds there you are. And this one is making the printed engineering. Now this one is for the calculation processors. Now the reason I have this one set just to pull pure Certus quartz out of the system is I don't have any other use for pure Certus quartz. So it's no big deal if all of the pure Certus quartz I have gets processed into these chips. So I just set it to pull all the pure Certus quartz in the system out and run through that inscriber. Okay, from here we're going to go, I'll just take the express route. Okay, from here we have the final processor assembly. In order to make a processor, and let me in order to make, for example, a logic processor, you need a printed silicone, you need a redstone, and you need the printed logic circuit, the one that we use the gold to make. So let's get some printed logic circuits. Okay. And we'll need some of these. And we'll need some redstone. So if I place these things in here, it will take a moment for them to all move in. Actually, what I'm going to do is speed things up a bit. There we go. And then we're making logic processors. The same procedure is done for the calculation and the engineering processors. Now the remainder of this, the interfaces, allow me to automate this process. So let's see how that might be done. Okay. First thing we're going to need is... No, we're going to cut that out. We're going to cut that out and call this a freaking episode. Okay, well, that's about all I have for applied energistics for this particular overview. I'm going to go ahead and call this a short episode. Yesterday's was pretty long, and it took me a while to get that one completed. So I'm going to say be safe, be healthy, and keep playing that Minecraft. 5150 out.